G'day guys, welcome to Draw Cartoons. Christmas is right around the corner, so today I'm going to show you how to draw Santa Claus. Make sure you watch the whole video because as always, I've got a lot of great tips for you today. You're going to need a pencil, paper, an eraser, and a Sharpie to go over your sketch with. Let's go! Let's get started. But first, if you want to learn to draw the fast and easy way, make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. Let's begin. So as always, we're going to start with the head. So let's just draw a circle. As even a circle as you can get. Doesn't have to be perfect. Look, mine's not very perfect, but it doesn't really matter because it's just a guideline, okay? So we're doing this with our pencil. You want to use your pencil at this stage. Don't use your Sharpie just yet. And then once you've drawn your circle, just cut it in half with a straight line that carries on. And we're going to draw, as usual, kind of like a lollipop shape going on, okay? So make this line about the same height as about 3.5 heads all stood on top of each other, roughly that, okay? I mean, again, it doesn't really matter too much, but that's the kind of size that I recommend. So just a line at the bottom, because that's going to be the floor where the bottoms of the feet are. And now, again, we're going to cut this in half again, this circle. Again, just gently with your pencil. These are just guidelines. It's going to help us draw the rest of the drawing. And the reason why we're doing that is so that we know where the middle of the head is on this side and the middle of the head is on this side, if that makes sense. So from here, we're actually going to draw a much bigger circle, okay? So that's going to be the top of the circle. And we're going to draw a much bigger circle going underneath that one. Okay? So I'm just kind of doing gentle, light strokes with my pencil. Just kind of building that shape out. And then near the bottom of this circle, I'm just going to draw kind of like a line dipping down near the bottom like this. That's going to be where the belt is. See, this is his head, this is the torso, and that's the belt, okay? And then another line just kind of coming in from the side here, and another one from here. Now we're almost done with the guidelines. One more thing I'd like to do is just draw a line that's diagonal that comes towards this line here, but doesn't quite reach it. There's still a bit of a gap, and the same on the other side. That's going to be the legs. So already we can see this kind of shape building up. We've got this head, we've got a big round torso, very characteristic of Santa, and then two very short legs here. So now we're going to get into the details. So right in the center of this head, we're going to draw a big round nose. Again, very typical of Santa. And either side of that, I'm just going to draw two tall oval shapes, okay? Don't go below this middle line here. So either side of the nose, we're just going to draw two tall ovals, and then on the inside of each oval, just another one, just kind of sausage shape on the inside of each eye. Those are the pupils. Okay, and then what you might want to do at this point is, at the bottom of each eye, just draw kind of like a curve that's just coming up at the bottom of the eye, and that makes him look like he's smiling a bit more because the eyes are kind of pinched upwards a little bit. So just below the nose, we're actually going to draw the moustache now. So we'll follow along this guideline we drew and then curve down towards the middle like this. Okay, so I'm just going to do that again but on the other side. So we come away to about here and then we curve down and up towards the middle. And without even drawing his mouth, we can actually see that he's smiling, because of the way we've drawn the eyes and the way we've drawn the moustache, the way the moustache kind of curves here. So let's just draw in his beard. I'm just going to kind of draw in the shape of the beard. We can add some details later if you like. But just a simple kind of wedge that comes down diagonally away from the side of the face like this, and then down towards the chest and ends kind of about here. Honestly, if you want to, you can make his beard as long or as short as you like. You could make the beard end here, or you could make it all the way down here if you want. Okay, it's your Santa. So just above the eyes, we're going to draw the rim of his hat. So just kind of get a curve going on. Don't draw it too straight across the head. We want to make it look like it's going around his head, right? And then we're just going to kind of draw the bushy white bit at the bottom of the head, the hat here, sorry. Just around the head. That's actually quite tough, so give it a couple of tries. Just make sure you get that shape down. But you want to kind of go for this kind of thick band that's going around his head, like that, okay? And then let's just pop an ear on each side. All that is just like a little kind of C shape on each side of the head. Now you might want to finish off the beard just a little line here that goes down towards the moustache, that's all. Now, don't worry, I know it's looking a bit messy, but that's okay. We've been using guidelines, and that's the nature of using guidelines. You always get a bit of a mess going on, but we don't keep them. When we go over this with a pen, we're just going to keep the lines that we actually want, and then we can rub out all those guidelines later. So I'm just drawing in the hat now. The hat's quite flexible. This is the way I like to draw the hat. I like to draw it kind of going up and over like this, and then down towards the end where the bobble is. Again though, you could really draw the hat however you like. You could draw it on this side if you want, or you could draw it straight up, or however you like, but I like to draw it kind of to the side like this, kind of like it's flopping over. Maybe you want to just draw in some creases here, it's kind of up to you. So we've actually finished Santa's face at this point, so we can move on to the body. Now the body is, I'd say it's less challenging than the face, so let's move on to the hands. So at the end of each one of these guidelines, we're just going to draw a slightly curved line that kind of stops those lines, okay? And at the end, we're going to draw his mittens. We're going to draw in some nice warm mittens because he's out in the cold. So you've got to wear some gloves out for the cold. So just a big, thick thumb coming up, and then a bigger bulge going this way, away from the wrist, okay? So it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like a heart shape with one side smaller than the other, if you want to look at it that way. But just to show you again, so a thumb that's coming up, and his hands are just kind of gently resting on his belly, and just a bigger bulge that goes towards the middle of the belly and then comes back at the wrist. At the back of each glove, we're going to draw the end of the sleeve, just kind of like a white tuft of faux fur, or whatever the material is. I guess depends on whatever he's wearing that day, but his typical costume, he has the kind of white cuffs going on just in front of the gloves. And let's finish off those arms. Now this bit is a little bit tricky, just follow me carefully. All we have to do is just a small line that curves up like that. And don't go any further than that, okay? Otherwise it'll look like his arm's detached if we go all the way up. So just kind of end it here, and the same on the other side. Okay, now let's draw in the rest of the arms. So coming away from here where the beard meets the shoulder, and where the beard meets the shoulder here, we're just going to do this again. We're just going to kind of come away from the body, but then come back in to the arm, okay? So we're actually going a little bit outside of our guidelines now, a little bit outside of our safety zone, but that's good. Sometimes it's good to take risks when you're drawing, so just go a little bit outside the guidelines and then come back in at the cuff there. Now I'd actually say some of the hardest parts are done, so let's just follow the guideline down on each side. He's kind of wearing a jacket, isn't he? So just draw a bit of that on each side, and this is where this curved line comes into play. We're going to draw a square right here where these lines kind of meet here. Okay, this is the buckle of his belt, and then just draw a smaller square just inside. And once we've drawn that buckle in, just on either side of that buckle, just draw the belt curving up around his torso. Okay? Just coming up a little bit so that we're kind of reaching the end of that circle. And you might want to go a little bit further actually, because the bottom of his jacket, let's draw it in now actually. The bottom of his jacket, let's just come away here where these lines meet. And we'll come away here where these lines meet. And then we'll just curve it along the bottom of the circle that we drew earlier, okay? Now, we're working in pencil, so it's okay that we did things slightly out of order there, because that's the reward of working with a pencil. You can always erase your mistakes. So as you can see, I've actually made an error here, but that's fine. I can just kind of block it in like that with a line, just to remind myself that when I go over it with a pen, I just need to draw this the way I actually want it to. I'm just going to show you quickly how I want that to look when I ink it. So let's just rub away this bit here. So you can see, oops, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. So here, I just want it to kind of go outside the circle a little bit. I'm going to leave it in for now, because I can compare it with this side. Because when we draw the belt out like this, let's follow it along to the left, where those lines meet. And bring the belt along to the left again. See, it kind of reaches the end of this jacket here, okay? Right here. Now at the very bottom of the jacket, there's just another one of those white tufts. Okay, not too thick, not too thin. And then there's just a bit more here. on either side of this guideline. Okay, so we're nearly there. Let's take a look at those legs. So we're just kind of going to draw a big, thick shape on this side and this side. So now this line here is the spot between the legs. This is the center of the leg. That's all this line is here to tell us. And this is the outside of each leg. So now that we've drawn this, it's really simple to draw the rest of the shapes of the leg. So about here, we're going to draw one shoe coming away, just kind of bulging out like that, and then the same on the other side. And his legs are together, so we can just kind of draw the soles of those shoes, or boots, I guess they're boots really, aren't they? All the way from one side to the other. And then one last touch, the tops of his boots. So we're just going to kind of curve from one leg to the inside like this, try and get that 3D look going on, and another rim like that. Okay, and the same on the other side. Curve around, and then curve around the back of the leg. And there we go, our drawing of Santa is pretty much done as a sketch. So I'm going to get my Sharpie out, and I'm going to go over the lines that I want to keep, and you should do the same. So the lines you want to keep would be, for example, this nose here and the beard shape. I mean, you might want to kind of draw some bumps on the outside of the beard if you want to. This is the time to add some details if you want those cool little details. I'm actually going to do that now, so I'm just going to add a few more kind of fluffy bits to the beard, maybe some to the rims of his hat, maybe some here. Okay, but it's your drawing of Santa. You can add whatever details you like, really. But lines we don't want to keep would be our guidelines. So for instance, we don't want to keep this, you know, it's the center of the arm. Don't really need that. This kind of cross on the nose, we don't really need that. We don't need this either. This is the bottom of the circle that we drew at the start that showed us where the head was going to go. So just go over the lines that you want to keep, and we'll take a look at our finished Santa drawing. Erase those guidelines once you're finished drawing over the lines that you'd like to keep with a Sharpie. And there it is, a perfect picture of Santa Claus. Here's some Christmas trivia for you. Over 2 billion people celebrate Christmas Day on the 25th of December, but others celebrate it on the 6th or the 7th of January. In some places in Europe, Christmas Eve is the main celebration date. Does that mean Santa stops by for them a day earlier than the rest of us? If so, maybe that's how he has time to get to everyone's house. One more thing. If you want to keep learning to draw quickly and easily, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time.